You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Sunday the 9th of November, 2025. It is 48 days after the fall equinox. It is 42 days before the winter solstice. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 19th day of Brumaire, the day of the grenade, the pomegranate. The sun rises today at 6:36 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 11:39 a.m. The sun sets today at 4:43 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 5:12 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 5:45 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes, 11 seconds shorter than yesterday. The moon is in its waning gibbous phase and is 76% full at midday. The third quarter will arrive on Wednesday, the 12th of November. These are the predicted tides today for Horn's Hook. In the middle of the night, high tide, 12:42 a.m., 1 meter 49. In the morning, low tide, 6:28 a.m., 12 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 12:58 p.m., 1 meter 77. In the evening, low tide, 7:19 p.m., 0 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, prickly pear cacti have begun to droop. The pads that have stood up straight and strong all through the summer have tilted downward, leaning toward the ground. This is a sign they are entering their dormant winter stage. Water is draining out of the pads, and soon they will shrink and shrivel, their flesh no longer taut, but wrinkled. This is a defense against the cold to come. With less water within the pads, the danger of forming ice inside is a hazard they are avoiding. They could be brought indoors, in which case they would retain their firmness and stay lush and green through the winter. But these native plants are incredibly resilient in our winters, so we will watch as they shrink, waiting for them to swell again in the spring. Commemorations. On this day in 1842, George Bruce of New York City received the first U.S. design patent for his typeface, Bruce Script. It was a new kind of patent and gave its holder exclusive rights for just 7 years. Bruce Script was a cursive typeface resembling an elegant calligraphic hand. On this day in 1989, the Berlin Wall fell. East Germany had fallen into crisis as the Soviet Union under Mikhail Gorbachev pulled back from policing its client states and upholding their repressive governments. Just 3 weeks before the wall was breached, Erich Honecker, the head of government, had been forced to resign by the Politburo. As the new leadership tried to chart a new course, the machinery of their state began to crumble. And then on the 9th of November, at a press conference, the East German government official, Günter Schwabowski, blurted out that restrictions on travel to the West would be lifted immediately without delay. Thousands of East Berliners flocked to the border crossings. At the Bornholmer Strasse crossing, border guards, unsure what to do, simply opened the gates, and a flood of people walked into West Berlin. It was the beginning of the end of the Berlin Wall and of the East German state. On this day in 2022, archaeologists announced they had discovered an artifact with the oldest decipherable sentence written in an alphabetic script. It was an ivory comb from the Canaanite city of Lachish, now located in south-central Israel. It dated to 1700 BCE. Written in the Canaanite alphabet, its inscription reads, "May this tusk root out the lice of the hair and the beard." Today is der Tag der Erfinder, or Inventor's Day, in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. It honors the birthday of Hedy Lamarr. The Austrian-born actress was a star of many Hollywood films in the 1930s and 40s, and was known for her striking beauty. But she was also an enthusiastic and technologically sophisticated inventor. At the beginning of World War II, along with her colleague George Antile, Lamar co-invented a radio guidance system for Allied torpedoes. Where ordinary radio guidance systems could be jammed and rendered inoperable, their design used spread spectrum and frequency hopping technology to maintain contact. On this Tag der Erfinder, we salute Hedy Lamarr and all inventors out there. And that is the Observatory, Sunday the 9th of November, 2025.